Hey folks, Technivorous here. Today we are taking a look at SliceCrafter. Now SliceCrafter is iceSL's browser-based slicer. Now it's absolutely free, and if you don't want to do the full download of iceSL, this is the perfect place to start, see how it works, see some of the settings and things like that. The full version is free to download, and I definitely recommend checking it out, especially when you get into stuff like the WebForge and making files programmatically. It's actually really cool to make an STL just by punching in a bunch of points, and it takes a little bit of effort, but it's fun. So today we are going to be looking at, as I said, SliceCrafter here, and as you can see, they have loaded me up with the model that is their logo, and you can see their logo here. Now this model will print. It's a pretty unique little model, two interjoined pyramids that are three-sided, so kind of cool, but we're not actually going to be printing anything today. I just kind of wanted to look at some of the settings. So there's different services here, and basically we're going to slice to G-code because we want a G-code file that we can put on our printer. And they also have a slew of different printers that they already have settings for, and I've selected the Ender 3 not only because I have one, but because they're a pretty common printer, so we're going to stick with that for now. And you can also select a profile depending on whether you want high quality, a fast print, standard quality, or custom. Now if I click on one of these, it should set most everything on its own. Then if I change something, it will go back to custom. So we're just going to leave it at custom, and we're going to take a look at a few of these settings. So there is the custom setting button. In here, this allows you to turn on auto bed leveling before your print, and there are a couple other things that you can do depending on which printer you have. The options pop up there. So this is the slicing tab, where you determine your layer thickness, print speed, pretty much all of the basic stuff. And then there is some travel stuff here. Brush, I mean, this is just basically gonna go over tiny gaps and print parameter and flow multipliers, things like that. Basically how it brushes the plastic onto the surface it's adhering to. So interesting. Extruder, you can have multiple extruders in here. This is where you can set the temperature, retraction, and nozzle diameter, things like that. Then we get into supports, and you can choose supports and inner supports, or you can paint where to interdict support. Now this is where you want to add support, and it will support specifically that area. So let's go ahead and paint this corner here, and then click support. Oh, and we need to slice before we can add the support here. So let's just go ahead and slice it real quick, because that should put the support where I painted it. Alright, so my model's got turned here, but you can see where I painted on it. And you can see where it's putting a heavier support in that area, only on this corner that I painted, as well as this spot I painted on accident back here. But you can only see the preview for that if you scroll up to a higher layer. So this is the model itself. The actual path is shown in the layers. So it'll show any support below what layer you have selected. And every time you move it, it does regenerate it. And that's the cool thing about iceSL, is this is all very programmatic and updates basically in real time. So it's pretty cool. The little parameter supports in here also show up. So yeah, the support setting's pretty cool. It's set on wings now. They have another option where you can set it on bridges, and that makes really tiny wispy little supports that in theory should work, but I haven't tried it out because I'm just a little bit leery, and I'll show you that actually real quick. So we can see here what the support structure is going to look like. Okay, so then it actually does fill out those lines pretty thick, which is good. And I think the wings is probably the way to go, because this seems like a little bit of overkill. But either way, very well supported. It did support that corner a little bit more like I asked it to. So that's good, that's acceptable. And let's see what else they have going on in here. There's lots of cool settings and other cool stuff. We haven't even gotten to the best part of this yet. Cavity is going to print a hollow object. Let's get these out of the way. Adhesion, obviously pretty self-explanatory. This is your brim or your raft. Looks like it shows just the brim in here. But if I select raft, it'll give me the settings for the raft, and you can do both or neither. So cooling is obviously your fan settings, and shield. Shield is for like ABS, and if you don't have an enclosed printer, it will block and hold in some of the ambient heat so your model doesn't warp and pop off the bed. Prime towers, pretty self-explanatory. Here's your multi-material for dual extruders. And here are the printer settings itself. If you need to change the bed size, or if you want a thumbnail in the G code. And the last couple on here is processing. So this is basically a lot of technical stuff about how it actually processes your G code, your STL, and where it puts the points, discretization, contour deviation, little things like that. But those you really don't need to mess with until you have everything else finely tuned, and then you can definitely do some cool stuff there too. There's also the open all button, which is going to bring all your settings up just like in Kira, so you can see everything. So that is basically the gist of it. There are a lot of cool things in here if you're looking to try something else new. I definitely recommend trying the browser version, and if you like it, I definitely recommend doing a download because they have the Forge as well. And we're going to get into that in the next video. We're going to be using the web Forge at first, and then we're going to make a couple videos on the actual downloadable version and see what we get. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you check this out. It's always nice to see updates and other cool things, and I really like this slicer. I've played around with it quite a bit, and I like making models in the Forge. We'll get to that in another video, and yeah, it's definitely worth a look. Very customizable and easy, but it can also be very technical, so pretty cool little toy, especially for being browser based. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a like, and stick around so you can see the full downloaded version, any differences between that and this, and we will actually get a print going and show you the quality as well. So stick around for that, guys. That's going to be it. Technivorous out.